What is going on, guys? Politics Gaming here, and today we are going to be playing some more Power and Revolution. Obviously, I have not been playing this game enough, so I'm going to go ahead and try to make sure that we are going to be playing our equal amount of this game. So today, I'm just going to go ahead and start a game as the United States. There are a couple of policies that I would actually like to go through and just start to play with. So that's what we're going to be doing today, so let's go ahead and let ourselves get into it. We have a quote from Angela Merkel: "It is more and more common for women to have access to the highest responsibilities," and she is obviously the Chancellor of Germany.
For the new year, the head of state lavishly hosted 100...
Alright, let's go ahead, skip over that. Concentrate on some terrorism, since we actually are, it is extremely expensive to actually pay attention and fund our anti-terrorism efforts, since I believe it was the 2019 edition that made it so expensive for us to actually want to go forward with that. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and increase 1 or 2 taxes. I'm not going to rely on the industrial pollution tax as much as I would like to. I would like to at least get $100 billion, maybe $200 billion off of that funding. So we're just going to go ahead and try to concentrate on that. Other than that, I'm also going to be increasing the tax on petroleum and energy products. This is a tax so we can actually start moving away from fossil fuel cars, and that would increase our electricity production, but we are going to be investing a lot into nuclear power at the same time. So we're going to go ahead and increase the tax on our excises by 5. People are not going to like that. However, it does have a lot of Democratic and some Republican support, so we're going to go ahead and put that at 0.06. And that will also recover about $14 billion off of that. Purchasing power did decline because of that, but I kind of don't care because I need money and I want to make sure that everyone has the opportunity to start moving into electric vehicles. Let's go ahead and do this. Increase funding to the military by $81 million. And then we are going to continue to get our starting notifications. Endocrine disruptors is in need of funding, as well as organic farming in the agricultural sector. And in response, we are also going to subsidize agriculture by $100 million. Well, you know what? Let's go ahead and just subsidize our food sectors. We're going to go ahead and specifically start funding some of these sectors because I do not want to be funding cannabis or any of the drug sectors, and I don't want to be putting employment into their hands. Let's keep going. Colza, this is actually going to be funded because we are using it as a biofuel. And that is actually something that we can use, and I believe it is a the wooden fuel energy plant that we can build. Milk, let's go ahead and increase funding to that. Sugar. Vegetables. We're going to ignore wood. Tea, for some reason we're not producing it. Pork. Sheep. Budget excess? We have a deficit, Chief. I don't know where you're getting an excess from. Tobacco. What are we going to do with you, tobacco? And last but not least, and we're going to sell some of this to Ireland as well, we're going to go ahead and start increasing our production of potatoes. And I've increased it by 0.02. Oranges as well. Make sure all of our food sectors and maize, we're going to go ahead and give them $500 million in funding. Grapes, that is actually used in wine. And fishing, let's go ahead and give you some funding as well. Aquaculture, we don't need that. Cereals and maize. Fishing just needs naval transportation. Coffee, let's go ahead and increase. Reduce the price on rice. Why though? Impose a price reduction. Should we... How much is it? Would it... Ooh, wow, it actually... Let's go ahead and invest nearly $1 billion into that and reduce the price by about 15%. Why do I want to reduce prices though? What's in it for me? It increases purchasing power. Centonio, something, something. All right, let's go ahead and reduce prices by about 15%. That has bipartisan support in Congress, so we're going to go ahead and go through with that. And low price policy, people actually like that. Okay, let's go ahead and start on our ambitious energy projects. We're going to go ahead and shoot for about 5 of these within the year, and at least 15 by the end of 2020. We're going to go ahead and build these up in Texas. Build this one outside of San Antonio. Build this one in southwestern Oklahoma. Hey, what's going on, Jalo? Welcome to the live stream. Thank you so much for that comment. We're going to go ahead and put another one in Arkansas. We're going to build an oil platform. Go ahead and we're also going to definitely be increasing our production on oil. Especially shale. We're going to be increasing a lot of production in shale oil. Let's go ahead and build this one in southern Georgia near Florida. And let's also get... How much would 200 geothermal plants cost? 12 months, 400,000 workers, and 50 terawatts. Can we... Man, geothermal is a good investment if you kind of like do it in increments. Let's go ahead and get 3 more nuclear plants. We're going to build one in southern Michigan, north of Toledo. Gotta get 2 more. We're gonna do one in the Panhandle in Wisconsin. And let's go ahead and get one started up in Southern California. So that's going to be a massive increase of power for us. And as well, we are also going to be increasing some funding to offshore wind. So we're going to build at least 5 of these plants. We're going to build 3 off the coast of Texas. And then we're going to build a few more off the coast of California. And we're doing full funding because I really want to get these projects done. We're not going to waste time with bureaucracy. It's not how this is going to happen. Hey, what's going on, Black Shirt? Welcome to the live stream. Big units. What settings do you usually play with? I usually play on realistic. I usually play realistic just so I can just get... because it has my really thing that I like about the war game, where just, you know, small conflicts happen. There's not really a lot of like full-scale wars that break out. So that's something that I usually like to play, and that's why I do it. Numerical networks and infrastructure. There's going to be... oh, that's actually what I want to nationalize. We're going to go ahead, come over here. We're going to go ahead and do a nationalization on the 3G nuclear industry. Under control of the state. We're gonna go ahead and do that. Okay, so that passed with slight Democratic support, so we're gonna go ahead and go through with that. Courier transportation, what's going on here? They need fuel. Let's also give some subsidies to the fuel industry. Fuel is a very important part of our national. 23.68. What is affecting this? Oil, natural gas, colza, and capture and recycling of CO2. I've tried CO2. I don't know if it works or not. I really need to ask. But that's the capture process and making it into fuel. It's very very odd. Let's go ahead and build up some oil and gas in the country. I know we have a lot in this area right here. Just the United States in general has a lot of resources that you can play with. So it's a very, very lucrative very lucrative and very profitable that you can actually just start increasing and pumping as much oil out of the country as possible. And these do actually affect your production. So it is very good if you invest into shale oil and gas. We're gonna go ahead and develop some outside of Kansas City. And then we have 40. I think I'm going to go ahead and shoot for 10 more. What's going on in California? I don't know if California has any state laws on shale oil and gas pumping. A lot of people there probably won't like it. Ooh, very weak. Let's go ahead and check Norther. No, let's check Nevada now. South of Las Vegas? Nope. Let's go ahead and just keep concentrating on Texas. How does that affect the world? What are you talking about? What affects the world? Let's go ahead and invest in some solar energy plants as well. God, my debt is gonna increase a lot whenever this comes through. Oh, colza is another way of increasing your production on fuel, so that's another reason why I actually subsidized it. So our CO2 emissions are actually going up by like 1,000th. Transportation. Let's go ahead and also invest in the California high-speed rail. We're going to go ahead and connect Los Angeles to San Francisco directly. And then we're also going to develop okay, so that is going to be completed. We're going to get that done in 9 months. Let's also increase Stockton, Sacramento. Let's connect Bakersfield to Sacramento. Gonna get that done in 6 months. We're gonna be doing a lot of borrowing in this first quarter. This is going to be a very expensive quarter. Then we're also going to connect Bakersfield and Los Angeles. We're going to get that done in 3 months. It's at least $200 billion we are actually investing in the state of California alone. So what if we connected San Francisco to Sacramento? Nothing is connecting Stockton. If we connect San Francisco to Sacramento, we are actually completing kind of like the go-around. Everything, Los Angeles is basically going to kind of be a hub. Well, yeah, okay. Let's go ahead and invest in the Los Angeles-San Diego line. It's going to pass through Santa Ana, and then it's going to completely connect right to San Diego. That's also a very worthwhile investment, and the transportation minister is going to like it. I think that's going to be our last high-speed rail investment for a while. Okay, so the Sacramento Fresno line is good. Los Angeles, San Francisco is going to contribute to the region's development. And Bakersfield, Los Angeles are good choices. Good. These are good. Well, that was Bakersfield to Los Angeles.
The bill.
Okay. And Los Angeles, San Diego line is okay.
I must.
Halt all trade of oil coming out of the United States and see what happens, LOL. Yeah, totally. And let's go ahead and check the cost of a Los Angeles to Las Vegas line. It's going to be $20 billion. That'd take 20 months or 7 months if we fully funded it. After an update, when I build wind farms, they give me 20 energy each. Really? Which ones? Offshore or onshore? And to pay for all of this, let's go ahead and increase this again. What are you doing? Intelligence.
We have obtained.
We have to obtain some information. Hyperloop. We're definitely going to be investing in Hyperloop. However, Hyperloop is not going to be the kind of things we want to connect from like San Francisco to Los Angeles. That would be like Los Angeles to like Dallas line or something like that. Which I am actually looking forward to connecting these long distances. Once I unlock the Hyperloop, we're actually going to build a Dallas-Chicago Hyperloop. Something else we're actually going to do, there's already a highway that's connecting them, but I could actually invest in a Dallas-Houston line, which is actually something that is actually happening in real life. Oof, I know you guys heard that. So basically, the California high-speed rail is actually under attack by President Trump, and he is also threatening to pull funding from California because of it, because of just how mismanaged that the California high-speed rail is. Texas is actually, a private company is actually investing in a high-speed rail system that would connect Dallas and Houston, and this is all by a private company. The only difference between California and Texas is that California's high-speed rail is being funded by the government of California itself. But what are you guys' thoughts on it? Do you guys support high-speed rail investment, or do you think that we should be allocating resources elsewhere? Personally, I do believe that we should actually be, at least the government or anything like that, should be investing considerable amounts of resources into the development of high-speed rail or even Hyperloop technology. And I believe that we should be increasing the amount of ways that we can actually invest into our infrastructure and shortening the times of getting from city to city. Like, it's just an impossible feat for me personally to go from here where I live in Dallas to Chicago. And I've always wanted to go to Chicago, but if we can make it affordable for $50 or 20, or it wouldn't be 25, but $50 sounds like a considerable price for it, and we had a high-speed rail system that we could actually get to, then that would be mind-boggling. Let's go ahead and increase this by another 0.3. And definitely not going to be able to pay for all the projects that I have finally started up, but it's a start. Yeah, I'm a personal believer that we need to have affordable and faster transportation. Technology and high-speed rail is here. We just don't know. We just don't have the what do you call it? Wow, it is really yellow outside of my house. It's like I'm looking outside my window right now. It is just yellow. I'm gonna go outside and look real quick. Hey, Baxter, finally we agree on something? Hell yeah. What about highways? What kind of highways can I be building? Can I do... transportation system in the United States is pretty well built. All the cities seem to actually be connected, except for, you know, Pierre and Bismarck. Minneapolis. Nah. It's kind of a waste of money to connect them. Let's go ahead and also get a high-speed rail authorization with Canada. For a future high-speed rail, we could actually build between our cities. Possibly New York, or maybe even Boston. Maybe New York, and that can connect to Ottawa. I think it would be too expensive for a Washington-Ottawa line. That would kind of connect the cities, but there already is a high-speed rail system in real life and in the game. That connects Washington to Boston. Unfortunately, Yeah, I think connecting Philadelphia or even New York would actually be more economical in a sense. So what's going on in our energy guide? Okay, so we have 3. Do we have government? When does this pass? 119, so that's gonna pass in a couple of days. You can do better. I really don't want to look at my credit rating, but my credit rating is probably garbage. Yep, we have a triple B with Ki Gong, and a double A with Harshness and Kish, and a triple A over here. And Canada has agreed to a potential partnership for the construction of a high-speed rail line. Maybe we can connect Washington to Vancouver, which would make more sense. Impose a price reduction has passed, and nationalization has passed. So let's go ahead and come over to energy, and let's go ahead and come over here. We have fully nationalized it, so we have the control over its workforce. Let's go ahead and start employing 25,000 workers into the 3G. So that's going to cost $2.2 billion. We can afford it. And we're just going to get that started now before we actually impose a price reduction. We cannot. We're also going to subsidize them by $100 million. I would just like it to be privately funded. Government should work on ending the war and paying off the debt. As a more poor country, does building roads and rails increase money in the future? Not that I've seen. Investing in your infrastructure does have a boost to growth, but I kind of see it as if maybe in the long term, maybe after 5 or 10 years in the game, yeah, because you're contributing that growth. And then if you're connecting your large cities with high-speed rail, then the people are going to be able to do more business together. They're going to be able to see each other more. They're going to be going all over the country spending money. So kind of, if you look at it as in like a kind of like a business sense, yeah, maybe. I don't know if the game mechanics actually simulate that, but I would imagine. So we're definitely going to be making a lot of profits off of nuclear generated electricity. So let's go ahead and look at that. The state can have differing reasons for nationalizing, acquiring a strategic sector, securing jobs, or reaping the benefits of the sector, but all at the expense of a certain loss of profitability. The state acquires the shares of nationalized companies by taking them over several years. On the other hand, when privatizing, the sale of the state shares to private investors generates immediate... Well, that's in there twice. An immediate revenue windfall. If the state is the majority shareholder, the sector's deficit or profit is included in the government revenues. So we should actually get a profit because we are investing so much money into that, so we should actually make our money back. Since we are actually the majority shareholder on it. Mr. President, I would like to direct your attention to a potential gold mine for the state that tends to be neglected: taxes on the highway system. It has the advantage of being less head-on than a direct levy, allowing the development of other transportation infrastructures with the funds collected and be environmentally friendly. We should expect some resistance from commuters, but ultimately it is still a taxation that is worth its weight in gold. So we're going to go ahead and take his advice. We actually don't have one. Ooh, we don't have one. Which, it kind of goes against it. I don't know if we are actually increasing if all highways are being taxed, or if only you're directing a certain amount of money that is going to be levied from freeways. Or not freeways, they're basically toll roads, we call them in the United States. There's certain roads in the United States that basically basically can be tolled. The only areas and roads and highways that are actually not tolled are interstate systems. So I don't know if the game is actually taxing interstates or if they're just taxing them all. It says traffic on the highway system can lend itself to different kinds of taxation, compulsory vignettes, something, kill me, toll system, or no tax at all, which are freeways. Here it is expressed as the average cost per kilometer or mile. A large part of the earnings returned to the state. This taxation policy also has an environmental impact and can be a strong indicator of automobile usage. So what if I want to increase that to 1 cent? People definitely are not going to like it. What about 2 cents? Okay, what about... Maybe we'll go ahead and start this just to get the ball rolling on our highway tax system. Increasing this can actually help me fund certain infrastructure projects that I really want to go after. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and increase that. What about 4 cents? Really pushing the ball right here. We're going to be expecting resistance from the Republicans. And I think we're going to go ahead and do that before we lose too much support and get a strike or even a massive protest from the automobile industry. So we're going to go ahead and do that. That's going to generate about $38 billion. And we have the support of both houses, including a lot of support from the Democratic Party. Now we are seeing purchasing power and an automobile that is losing us approval. So we are going to be very careful with what we do. I think we're going to be doing a maximum cap of 10 cents on the highway system. I put it at 0.4, so we could actually go to... I think we'll have a cap for now on 5 cents, and then that's going to be it. So we are going to make sure that we are going to be finishing these 3rd generation nuclear plants in this gameplay. Jihadist Caliphate has been defeated in Syria. Soon enough, we are going to complete our war on terror, and soon enough, we will go ahead and pass a law that is going to outlaw street harassment. You can do better. Yeah, I get it. You want me to adopt your shitty policies on the economy? I don't want to. Alright, so the nuclear generated electricity sector is up and running again. Mr. President, after our hiring campaign, the nuclear generated electricity 3G EPR sector is back in business. Our activity is now back in track and country. So let's go ahead and look at that. Do we have 25,000 people finally hired in that? That is, we have 4 people hired in the sector. Now, does that change? Now it says we don't have activity going on because we don't have production.
There's nothing to...
That is why. What is our average salary? 4 people. What is that? We have uranium, so we're going to go ahead and invest in some uranium production. Do we have... Wow, we are way under our consumption for that. We're going to be needing more uranium than that. Let's go ahead and invest $1 billion into the production of uranium. China discovers corn-based fabric. Biodegradable. What's going on here? Our sector is back in business. Perfection of biodegradable plastic. We're going to go ahead and patent that and sell it to the world so the world can finally get some biodegradable plastic, and that's going to help the environment. Okay, sorry. Production went up to 9%. What is our productivity index? 1.422, and our income tax is right there. We're going to go ahead and exonerate that from federal taxes, and we're going to go ahead and do that. Is nationalizing a sector in agriculture with zero production so it's free to nationalize, then make a boom, then when it starts to stop fully privatizing it, a good idea? I also expect it to help the economy. My recommendation for that, basically, we're going to go over here. So if I wanted to acquire the cocoa sector, because there's no production coming out of it, what I recommend, yeah, so you can do either one of these. Basically, you can have state involvement in a minority shareholder, or you can have full federal control of that sector. So what you want to do is basically change it to one of these. What I'm going to do with the nuclear industry, and I think I'm going to try to keep the nuclear industry under complete state control for a while, until it becomes too hard to actually micromanage it. So if you want to take control of these sectors, then you need to be ready for micromanagement, because you really need to be paying attention to these sectors. So put it under full state control. I just realized that one of the songs played earlier, so I'm probably going to get copyrighted for this video. That sucks. Yeah, I didn't make it stop. That sucks. So that's basically what you want to do. And then after a couple of years, change it to minority shareholder, and then put it to totally privatized. That will get you some immediate revenue. If the sector is doing so well under government control, then keep it. That's what you want to concentrate on. That's what you want to do. So that's my mini tutorial on that. I'm gonna email Eversim and ask them about that song, because I'm really tired of having to try to avoid that song. Let's go ahead and improve our textile industry. We're going to go ahead and invest $200 million into cotton. And then we're going to go ahead and go over into the industry tab. And before we actually start doing that, we're going to go ahead and purchase some military equipment. We're going to buy some aircraft carriers from ourselves. It's going to be done in 2021. Looks like we don't have... And let's go ahead and buy 2 ships. Let's do 5 ships. No. Let's get it in a timely manner. What's our spending in our military? Hey, no problem, Adian. Welcome to the channel. Make sure, if you haven't, like, subscribe. If anyone watching this video has not liked or subscribed the video, please go ahead and make sure that you do. It really helps me a lot, and I really appreciate the support from you guys. What else are we doing? Dismantle nuclear missiles. Let's go ahead and commit to nuclear proliferation and dismantle 75 nuclear missiles. That's going to leave us with exactly 4,000 atomic bombs in our arsenal. That's actually going to get us some approval because of nuclear disarmament. Now let's go to industry. And before I forget, what are we doing right here? Construction of electric automobiles. We're going to go ahead and apply a $300 million subsidy to automobile construction. And what about electric utility vehicles? We're going to go ahead and hold off on that just for now. We're also going to be investing in fuel cell batteries. What do you need? You need rare earth oxides, nickel, zinc, and chemicals. Let's go ahead and increase the production for that. Let's go ahead and give them about $50 million worth of subsidies. And we're going to exonerate fuel cell batteries from that. And nickel, don't know if we're going to be able to do that. What's going on in nickel? Nope, we don't have nickel production. Hey, what's going on, Uzaman? Welcome to the live stream. Perfume and cosmetics, the pharmaceutical industry. What happens if I wanted to do... Oof. Man, we would really have to increase taxes to get that money back. Pharmaceutical, if we could and manage prices as we could, then maybe... Ooh, we could actually reduce prices. Let's go ahead and reduce prices on pharmaceuticals by 5%. What if we want to do 10% reduction? Okay, let's go ahead and get that down to $50.45 million. And that's going to cost $16 billion. But it is worthwhile the investment to actually increase and decrease. If we need to go ahead and meet up with our Republican and Democratic colleagues to make sure we are actually going to be able to get that passed. Agreement negotiation. That's Charles Schumer.
Sure. Yeah. No problem.
Yes, thank you. What's going on here? Other surface ships. Let's go ahead and accept that. And aircraft carrier. I'm going to get that done on 4/20/21. Got a lot of people coming out against anti-ecology? What?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it does look like we do not have Republican support for this law.
Well done.
Go to war with China or Myanmar, I guess. I'd rather not. I was wondering how much money I would need to give a non-nationalized sector of milk production to get it going. How does partial shareholder benefit the sector? Well, basically, I usually recommend funding that sector with a certain amount of money. It kind of depends on what it is and how strategic it is, either to you or to the country. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. It's back in business. Is it gonna tell me that every single time there's like a hiring? Okay, so 12 people are now working in that sector. So 25,000 people are projected to work in a sector, so it's going up to 12. I wish convincing people to vote for you was this easy in real life. Speaking of making people vote for me, we're going to go ahead and launch some federal investigations into a couple of people. Other parties, let's go ahead and launch a federal investigation on the Democratic Party. Is that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez? Let's check one thing for one, by the way. Institutions, right here. Nancy Pelosi is a Republican for some reason. I'm gonna have to send it over to... I'm gonna have to send that to the, to Eversim. In other news, it is good to see that Nancy Pelosi is agreeing with the Republican Party for once. Who else? What's going on here? Let's launch an investigation on National Building, Housing, and Roadway Construction Man. And an association. Let's get them too. Who else? Let's go ahead and get the Party for the Defense of Nature. Ooh, let's meet with the top model in the country. Oh no, we just suffered an earthquake.
We have just found out that a large earthquake has devastated a region.
Let's go ahead and invest some money into the environment, as well as some increased funding into these. Some volcanic eruptions, definitely, and earthquake funding. It's going to be about $6 billion. Let's go ahead and come over here. Let's increase some of the taxes to make sure that we are making our profit. And we have some support. Let's go ahead and put this into a reform so we can go ahead and get a couple of laws passed at the same time. And this is just going to be the federal automobile reform. Because we are going to be doing a couple of things on the environment as well. We're going to go ahead and create that. And increase. How will people like this? Still hate it. But let's go ahead and increase our taxes on the gas. No one's there anyway. Oh, shut up. That affected all of 2 people. Industrial. What if I go ahead and shoot for 0.1? Yep. Knew that was going to happen, so let's go ahead and get that. And add the reform. Let's go ahead and see the public reaction to that. Economy, yes. Environment, yes. Purchasing power, no.
In a press release.
Ah, damn it. Forgot. Hey, Ryan, no one's where you live anyway. Where do you live? Canada? Ha! Ho. National Club for Drivers' Rights. Go ahead and send in the police.
The target is
Damn it, we got a
in
riot.
position and under surveillance 24/7.
Target is in
The
position.
target is constantly
On alert.
The target.
So let's go ahead and check this before we go in and manage to riot. Who's a riot anyway? Uprising in Washington. Go, go, go. Okay, let's go ahead and give the army the order to attack. I'm gonna watch it because it's way faster than doing anything else. Oh wow, Myanmar. Why do you want me to invade Myanmar?
We have subdued the...
Period of national mourning. That's... okay. Impose a price reduction has passed. Great. Pharmaceutical prices should be going down.
The members of...
Let's go ahead and check that, actually. Pharmaceutical Industry. So let's go ahead and check that. Price index is 57. Imposed... price taxation cost is $100 billion. That's way more than the $10 billion that we should have been covering. Oof. Yeah, that really just smacked me in the face. Well, our tax reform is about to pass. Way more than that was supposed to be. I think it just changed again. Let's go ahead and keep an eye on it, actually.
The vote was held.
Okay, so the automobile reform just passed. Yeah. Ugh, God, that deficit. India wants to meet with us. We're gonna go ahead and do that. Japan has just suffered a massive earthquake. And our approval is dipping. Looks like we're going to be earthquake in Alaska. State of emergency, no. Energy, yes. What's our employment status right now? 24 people are working in the nuclear industry. Happiness. What's your approval of us now? Great. We're gonna go ahead and do our meeting. Yes, we're gonna actually buy some coal from them. It's a good idea. $517. Okay. US, India, coal agreement. We're gonna go ahead and accept that. And changes the song before I get copyrighted again.
Perspective.
Would it help your economy if you negotiated your debt percentage rates a little bit? It's way more micromanaging than I kind of need right now. But I can do that. That is an option. What's going on with the debt? Okay, our federal deficit is $760 billion. And our debt is going down actually as percentage of our GDP. That does not mean our debt is going up. We're about to hit our monthly, or our quarterly, quarter. We're about to hit the next quarter, and we're going to be incurring some debt. It does look like we are going to be incurring over $100 billion to our debt. And that is the amount of money that we actually owe. I think I should actually make a tutorial on how I understand debt in the game, because debt is actually pretty different, and the amount that you actually incur kind of looks like that it isn't connected to public debt. But it's kind of connected, but it's also kind of not, because this is the amount of money that you're borrowing from other countries. But you can still, your GDP, it's not going to increase your percentage of GDP debt. And basically how power generation works is that whenever you build one power plant, it produces that amount of power. So one of these is going to produce 0.2 terawatts of power, or megawatts. That's actually megawatts right there. So it's going to produce 200 megawatts of power. That's enough to power like 5 neighborhoods. So when are my 10 nuclear plants going to be finished? They are going to be finished in a little bit. And I think my employment should actually have to go up as soon as all 10 of these nuclear plants actually finish. We're going to go ahead and, yes, meet with the president of Afghanistan. And we are also going to wind down our forces in Afghanistan. We are not going to be concentrating on Afghanistan. So let's go ahead and withdraw 4,000 troops from Afghanistan.
Prospective analysis, coupled with the...
No, we're not going to be funding terrorists. Alright, looks like we did. I was actually pretty accurate on my debt incurrence. We did just incur $170 billion worth of debt. So, that is our change. Industry is in danger.
Industry in our country is very...
Maybe I was a little bit wrong. That was actually at 104, now it's at 105. And there's the guy trying to tell me that I should negotiate with my lenders.
Crises situations always generate tension between communities, and are a godsend for extremists of all types. We must therefore show that we are both vigilant and firm in order to avoid any mishaps. Our country must resist xenophobic temptations and remain united.
Good morning. I didn't come empty-handed.
Sales. No, that's way too small to really make a difference. Let's go ahead and try to buy like 3 million tons from Afghanistan, though. That would still barely budge our consumption.
I want to reassure you. Each day we work with determination for freedom and democracy. The happiness of my people, I must admit, is a constant obsession and will not stop being my government's major concern.
Yeah, you better, because we're about to pull funding from you. I think as I wind down my troops, we're actually going to increase the amount of money that we're actually giving them. So let's go ahead and give them $1.5 billion worth of aid. They obviously like that.
The preparation.
Yeah, the thing is that I would pull all of my troops out. The thing is that I can only do a location of terrorist units and not dismantlement of terrorist units. If I could do that, I would automatically withdraw all my forces from Afghanistan. But it doesn't let me do that for some reason, because there are active terrorist cells on the ground in Afghanistan. But for some reason it lets me do that in, let me see, No, it does that doesn't do that in Syria. Can you invest in opium from Afghanistan? No, I cannot. What's gonna be my policy on Iran, though? Manage networks. For one, I'm gonna go ahead and pull all my guys out of Sudan, Myanmar, Mexico. We're gonna stay. Indonesia, we don't need to. India, China, we can stay. Belarus and Argentina, we go. Let's go ahead and go back though. Jihadist Caliphate. What? Syria. Yeah, okay, so main one we're gonna actually start fighting against is going to be the ones in Syria. Let's go ahead and do this and dismantle terrorist groups, and then we are going to... We can't assign Agent 001, it looks like. Saudi Arabia, are we giving you aid? No. Pakistan, are we giving you aid? Yes, let's go ahead and cut that aid. Who else are we giving aid to that we don't need to be giving aid to? Let's go ahead and increase aid to Georgia. $250 million. Turkey, are we giving you aid? No. Belarus. No. Egypt. Yes, cut. Ouch. I don't know if they can come back. I doubt it. Myanmar, are we giving you aid? No. Indonesia, are we giving you aid? No, we're not. Malaysia, are we giving you aid? Let's go ahead and come over to AIDS development. See who we're giving. Why? No! No! Cut that shit. What are you doing, Syria? Why are we giving you $3.5 billion worth of aid? No, no, sir. Afghanistan is going to be our most... Who do we want to cut? Haiti, because of all the killings that's been going on, cut aid entirely. Tariffs and sanctions to anyone who dislikes you. Well, I can't just do specific... I can't do specific sanctions. Well, I can do specific sanctions, but not tariffs. Palestine. Get out of here. Liberia. You're getting more. Mexico, you're getting more. We're apparently giving Oman $6 million, so no. We're gonna cut that $6 million. Bangladesh. What are our relations? Yeah, cutting aid. Tanzania, no. What are our relations with... Yeah, we're going to go ahead and cut that $500 million aid. That money in Syria was money well spent. What do you mean? Lebanon, we're just going to cut you a little bit. $250 million sounds good. Obviously, we got a lot of people mad that we are increasing or decreasing their aid. 2.1 million illegal immigrants are in the country. We're going, if you like ISIS, it was. Joking, being sarcastic, 3 billion was obviously ridiculous. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm like, wow.
Here is our growth forecast for the...
Okay, so we have a really big growth rate right now. Nuclear electricity. How are we giving you aid, Cuba? Yes, we are cutting that aid. Cutting that aid. Speaking of, can we actually create a military alliance with Haiti? Let's go ahead and send that over. And if so, we can actually get a meeting. Wait, did I get the Dominican Republic? Yeah, I did. Let's go ahead and give Haiti back their money. Let's go ahead and put that at $350 million. Yeah. Haiti, we're gonna go ahead and do a military base in Haiti. What's a country we can also concentrate on in Central America? Honduras, Guatemala. Maybe we can concentrate on Guatemala. What's going on in Guatemala? Center-left government. $80 billion GDP. If we can actually get a foothold in Central America, that'll actually help us, and we can actually maybe even quell immigration into... Death toll from the earthquake in Alaska, 402. Well, I don't know how much... Let's go ahead and do $5 million. Let's do 5. I don't know if that's supposed to say million. So let's do 5,000. Let's go here. AIDS, United States. Government contribution. So I haven't even made a contribution yet, so... Hopefully it comes back and says, hey, you haven't applied enough money to the recovery. Oof. Yeah, let's go ahead and increase that by 0.1.
Population
Estimated at nearly $3.66 billion. Let's go ahead and give them $5 billion in federal aid. Alright, let's see what else is going on. Let's go to police. Let's go ahead and start doing something here. Fight against illegal immigration. We're going to give that full funding. Well, I'm going to get off now. I hope you do good and good night. Hey, thank you so much for watching, Adian, and I will see you next time. Let's go ahead and increase increase this by another. All affected people have been compensated with the $5 billion that I have given them. Purchasing power. Surprised there's not more people doing it. 47 million people. Wow. Wow, that is a lot. What do you got on you? Nothing. He just likes road transport, automobiles, and associations. He's a homosexual. What's something that I can do to actually get more people to like me? 405,000 federal workers. Yes, good.
Our governmental cell informs me that it has had...
Yeah, let's go ahead and get a snoop in the Chinese government. How many people have we employed now? 54, so that's going to be going up. Hopefully, right as we get all of these projects done, we are going... Okay, so we are now less than 20 days from actually completing these projects, so we are going to keep an eye on that. And what is our total production right now? 71.1%. It's coming from fossil fuels. I keep getting this. This is like a weekly thing. Nuclear electricity, 19% of the world's production. Employment, 37,000 is in the nuclear industry. We're going to have a massive surplus once this is done.
The bill has
Law on industrial pollution. And our gas tax should actually pass momentarily. Did it? Okay, so that passes in May. On May 1st. Japan. Tax on petroleum. Ugh. Let's go ahead and do that. Discrimination. Unhappy about the increased fuel tax. That was quick.
We have subdued the rebel movement.
Up and running again. Why do you keep saying it? I know! So what's going on here? Consumption is skyrocketing. As long as we have an active sector of basically that we have a good amount of stuff that we can, as long as we have a good amount of like electricity that we can actually run off of, as the amount increases, we're gonna actually come over here and we're gonna check. Number of electric vehicles is 0.96. How much will it cost if I actually wanted to give people a tax credit for using clean... Oh, that's actually already a thing. What about homes? $947 million. That's actually way better than I thought. I mean, I can afford that right now, actually. Space research, Uberization of society. What about fight against illegal immigration? Has that had any effect? I think we should actually have... Okay, so we're on the last day. Let's go ahead and watch these things get completed. Alright, our nuclear plants are now online, so we should have at least a couple hundred more terawatts to actually play with. Yep, we have 500 terawatt surplus of electricity. Looks like our wind power actually completed a while ago, so that's one reason why. What's going on in nuclear generated electricity? 75. So again, that should actually jump up, and we're going to watch it over the next month. So we're going to watch. North Macedonia wants to join. We're going to go ahead and allow that. 75 people and average salary. We're going to go ahead and put that at a flat 5,800. Fuel. So that's going up. Oil platforms, how much? So we got artificial intelligence, digital paper. And robotics. We're not the first, obviously, because China and Japan do this thing really early. 8.2 million tow. We're gonna go ahead and build another oil platform off the coast of Texas. We're gonna go ahead and build. Where else can I actually get these things? Very weak. What about closer to the mainland? Let's do maybe in the middle. What about off the coast of Washington? Okay, so we actually do have a little bit of production. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. We're importing coal, so that's good. A lot of people starting to drop off the stream now. Let's go ahead and check this. Let's see what we have coming. Energy, robot exoskeleton, and fusion nuclear power plants. They don't do anything. Medicine, anti-sleep molecule. You can skip sleep. What? Oh no. Anti-hair loss solution? Is that supposed to be an economic sector? Huh. I've never seen that. Obviously, it's not going to be a sector. What is the goal of this session? This is just a playthrough, honestly. This is just something where I'm just kind of managing the United States and doing my own thing. And so I can live stream for you guys, so you guys can watch me. Okay, so finally we've gotten this thing started up. 92 people are now working. So I knew as soon as we got the sector up and running, then we would actually get more people working. 2 million. We can invest in automation. Reduced income tax for purchase of property. Let's go over here. Minimum solidarity allowance. It is paid to individuals who do not gain enough pay through work to meet their needs. It is allocated on the basis of different social criteria and always takes into account total available resources. The beneficiary is often expected to sign up to a back-to-work contract. What if I did a $200 minimum solidarity allowance? How would that fare? Nah. Minimum wage? No. Space research. Let's go ahead and invest in a little bit of new space projects. Let's go ahead and come over here. We're going to call this the Artemis, obviously. This is going to be a walking on the moon mission. We're going to give it $70 billion. We're going to fund 80% of the project. And then we're also going to do another one, which we're going to do much earlier than that, called Moonrise. We're going to give that $1.25 billion worth of funding. We're going to fund 100% of it. And that's going to be a space probe with the return of samples. That's actually a real project that is going on. We're going to go ahead and give that $4.5 billion worth of funding. We're going to get that done. So we're going to schedule this one for 2024. We're going to get that done 6/23. So we'll be there by July 4th of that year. We're going to wait for some international partners, namely Canada, the ESA, and Japan. And then Moonrise, we're going to get... Oh, dang, we can't... Let's go ahead and do that later on in the year, 6/20. That's going to be a 5% chance of failure. We're going to go ahead and approve the funds for Moonrise and confirm that. And what else are we going to be doing? Europa, we have the Europa Clipper. Is that hasn't launched yet? Can we get that? No, we have to deal with launch windows and everything. I think that's gonna be done for now. Artemis and Moonrise have finally been made. Family, what's going on? Legalize same-sex parent adoption. I'm gonna hold off on that policy for now. Education, let's go ahead and come over here. We're gonna go ahead and increase funding for technical and general education. $2.5 billion just got released. And for higher education, we're gonna go ahead and increase funding for scientific, economic law. We're just going to do a general increase for all. You know, actually, tourism and foreign languages, we're going to cut funding. And then we're going to increase full funding for scientific and medical. We're going to go ahead and increase this. Military operations. $187 billion is how much it costs for us to run the bases overseas. So let's go ahead and recall some soldiers. Bosnia and Herzegovina, we're going to go ahead and leave. We're going to go ahead and repatriate 20,000 troops from Germany. $23,000 troops from Japan. We can leave our troops in Turkey. Greece. Djibouti we're gonna leave. Belgium. What's the other place we have like 100,000 troops in? Qatar. Oh yeah. Go ahead and pull some troops out of Qatar. Ultimatum. That was in Qatar. Why are these guys doing this? No, you need to be... Oh no. Why are you doing this? Oh god, these guys need to return to base. You guys need to return to base, and I'm gonna manually do that. Oh no, we are on the brink of war. We have no clearance to be doing that. Oh my god, get out of here, please. Please, 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 we really do not need an engagement. UAE almost straight up attacked us. Get to the base. Oh, thank. You guys are stupid. Okay, so let's go ahead and evacuate 21,000 troops from there. And we're going to go ahead and allocate them ourselves to Fort Jackson. Just so we're not shipping our people through that. Because that was very, very ignorant. Honestly, Qatar doesn't even want us there. Let's go ahead and replace these commandos and get these guys. To Camp Lemonnier. Sabotage has been successful. What is our energy production share now? 6.7% is going to nuclear. And what is our employment numbers now? 122 people are now working in that sector. And what is going on with pharmaceuticals now? Because we apparently lost $100 billion because we reduced the prices ourselves. Does look like that is still the cost of the taxation cost. So that was a little bit unfortunate. Waiting for your reply on the Artemis mission. Germany wants to go to the moon. Yeah, let's go ahead and... let the ESA in on this. So what's going on with our costs now? $53 billion. go ahead and ask Canada to invest some money into our research project.
Everything.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and save this. I'm gonna call this just live stream. We're gonna go ahead and save this game. I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up for now. All right. Guys, if you guys like this video, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. I will see you guys in the next one. If you want to see more of these live streams, go ahead and again, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I said that way too much.